What are your thoughts about President Zelensky? Because we know he was, before this, he was a comedian and an entertainer, a great fan of Monty Python.
Well, I know he's a great fan of Monty Python, so we can't claim credit there. I think he's amazing. I think the thing is about comedians, people tend to think they just make people laugh. In order to make people laugh and understand what they're laughing at, you've got to know about what's going on. You've got to have your ear to the ground. You've got to know what people are talking about, how people are feeling. It's a very, very fine line. And also you've got to know about the tragedy as well as the comedy. So I think good comedians have great insight. And I think that was the case with Zelensky. And he has been quite brilliant, I think. Not only very brave in staying in the country when people were saying, we'll take you out somewhere safe. He decided to stay. And he has played Putin very, very well. He is the other side of Putin. Putin is aloof, disdainful, uncommunicative. Zelensky is quite the opposite. He talks to people in Russian, he talks to people in English, he's always on air. I mean, he's again, I'm going back to this young versus old. He is the sort of face, I think, of change, of the new sort of younger generation in Ukraine. Whereas Putin seems very much in the past, and the younger generation is about communication. It's about talking to each other. It's about finding out why people are doing what they're doing, which should be happening. You know, it's ridiculous. You have to send in columns of troops and weapons and rockets in order to persuade someone that they should do this. That's not the way to do it. So I think Zelensky has been the hero of the hour, and he's a comedian, but no fool.
Absolutely not. Is it a connection, do you think, that he has able to establish through his comedy, through his performance? It's a connection that he's able to establish with a population that rallies them.
I guess so. I don't know much about his career and how popular his shows were, but I think the great thing is that he has a sense of the absurd, which is very, very important in this sort of situation, because we've seen Putin behaving in a quite a strange way. I mean, to put it mildly, tables about sort of 20 feet long, and generals at the end looking very unsure of what's going on. I mean, that's extraordinary. That's almost near comedy. It's almost an absurd image. What man sitting alone at the end of a 50-foot table. So I think Zelensky has that feeling of the absurdity of a situation. But also the injustice of the situation, and I think he sees the deeper, darker problems facing Ukraine very, very clearly. So it's not just comedy. But I think that I found, especially when I went to Ukraine, I went to Russia. I mean, they are countries full of laughter and jokes. They're always making sort of jokes, especially in Russia, where you're not meant to make jokes about things. So the terrific underground there, where people are doing very, very strange and wonderful things. And the same with Ukraine. Humour is important, and I think because Zelensky has done shows and has been known as a sort of a humorous actor and all that, that is definitely his connection. People warm to that.